After a wild race at Daytona, the cars are back on the track at a place that seems to be a fixture on this TI IndyCar schedule, and it is the beautiful track up in Wisconsin. Road America virtually on iRacing. We are here tonight for round number 4 of the TI IndyCar Series presented by LD Concepts. It is the Wisconsin 200 at Road America. I am the captain, Chris Scala, of course. Brought to you, brought to you by Gary Godso, I guess, too. You're my sponsor now, too, apparently. But with Gary Godso, of course, the man, the myth, the Oval legend, joining us tonight. But he's here tonight, of course, in the booth as we get ready for some great racing. 76 degrees, 104 down on track. It's going to be a little bit warm down there on the track here in this Wisconsin July day, or August now officially. And we got a fun race in stores. Gary, tell us a little bit about Road America. That's a very fun track. It is the biggest road course, I believe, in America, and one that people love.
And that was the first win for Forsyth Racing. If you think of all the wins that they've had in the past, that's where they started back in the early 80s. His one win and done. But the IndyCars, like I said, been coming here since the mid-80s or early 80s, and one of the reasons why is that everyone loves it. It's the closest thing we have to a European-style road course, or at least then it was. Now there's other road courses that have been built that kind of have European flavors to them. But Road America was one of those courses that had European style and flair to it. That's like a lot of the Formula One guys back in the days, Mario Andretti's, those type of guys really like this place. One of the reasons why we like it here in TI, like you mentioned, as we keep coming back here, is that everybody likes running here, and you could really tell like how everyone is running here. If we look at the times already on the side of the screen here, or at least I got the times up. I don't know if you have them up for everyone else, but I mean, really, the spread of 3 seconds between first and 14th. I mean, that's pretty slim right there. Normally, you see a much bigger spread, especially in some other league races or maybe some fixed races that come here because of the talent level. Everybody in this particular league likes this track, has been on this track a number of times, and they are laying down some blazing fast times. Just starting at the top, Isaac the Man, 142.115. Brody. Nate Brody, almost said Brody Lee, but 142.500. Stephen Larkamp at 142.778. I mean, I've never really seen a Road America race in the league, this style of league competition with 3 guys in the 142s.
And that shows you the talent that this league has. Of course, driving as they are about to finish up qualifying here. We're excited. I want to say, I have to go back and look at the schedule, and Gary, you might be able to help me. Have we been here all 6 seasons? I know at least 5 we've been here.
I'll have to go back and look at that myself because my involvement with this series only started this season 2. And one of the reasons, like I said, everyone's fast here, and it always seems to be a bit of drama.
And speaking of drama, let's look at the point standings as the drama is starting to shake up as we get into race number 4. Issac Morris leads it right now by 36 over Kite Bombers Bach. George Whitehouse coming off of a, very near first career win for him. Third in points, Ed Kerstetter, who's not started one race, is 4th. And Luke Daniels, very surprising top 5 right now for him. And I say surprising because he is off to a fantastic start. Apparently his new owner's better than his old one, but he's doing a pretty good job out there on the track. Carlos Otero, Lester, Sam Blackwood, Dan Marrera, Don Hunter, who, by the way, is a part of our news story. Don Hunter has officially been released from the TI team. TI did say in a statement earlier today, we wish Don the best in his future endeavors. But with that said, he is no longer a part of the team. So Edu Vila, the P2P, do you know what that is?
The push to pass.
Push to pass is officially a part of the TI roster, which sits up top of the team points right now. 246. Kamagoye right there behind in second. Dick Racing, Black Cat, LMC, and Mimsy, the 6 teams running for the championship in the series, as Barney Fife Jr. over there is going to have an arm cramp here in a second. But needless to say, qualifying is just wrapping up. We got 50 laps tonight, 200 miles. So if you go back to the old kart days, that is the exact distance they used to run around this track. Pit strategy, it's going to be a pretty straightforward race here.
Yeah, we've seen that the window could open as early as 8 laps for people that want to start maybe do their first stint, the short stint first, and then do longer stints as they go on. But we've also seen the majority of folks are looking anywhere between 12 and 15 laps for coming in for their first stop, and then approximately 12 to 15 laps every 12 to 15 laps after that until the completion of the race. We're looking at about 3 stops, and your pit strategy will make a breaker here because most everyone else is at top speed on this course, and basically the only time that you really are losing time on the racetrack is when you're standing still, and that's in the pits.
And you don't want that. The less time on pit road, the better for you.
Yes.
Obviously on the track. So, speaking of the track, they are gridding right now over in the turn 14 section. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the race. This evening, Issac Morris on the pole. And he'll start next to Nate Brody, who's a really good kart driver, as in the karts, not like Indy kart driver. Starts second there. Stephen Larkamp in Kite Bombers Bach, who had his worst run of his TI career, a very short career, but finished not so good last week. He looks to bounce back tonight, starting fourth. Sam Blackwood, who was not the happiest guy in the world last week. He'll start next to Edu Vila. Cohen Evans and Kerstetter, the winner from Auto Club Speedway, will start there in the thank you, Philip. Apparently my volume is low, so let me work on that one really quickly. I've been having a lot of audio issues on my end with an update that happened last week, so I'm still working on that just a wee bit. But Carlos Otero, Dan Barrera, who, by the way, won a road race in the Captain's League on Thursday last week. It was his first iRacing win, apparently, in his lifetime on iRacing, which has...
No. That's not. It's his first win in the IR18. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Well, I must have been told here.
We got to give him more credit. He's put some wins down in the IR05 before, but in the IR18 that would be his first win. So he's multi-talented.
Well, Lester and Luke Daniels, they'll take row number 6. Row number 7 is where you'll see Stephen Grabowski and Jim Herrick. Andres Perez, Isaac Lopez, row number 8, and row 9, David Whimsy and Charles Baldwin. Going to take them to the green flag. The front 6 cars are on soft tires. The red and the rest of the field is on the prime tires as the green flag comes out. Race number 4, green for Road America. Ed Kerstetter's on push to pass before he even took the green.
Well, you could do that. Cohen Evans he's making some moves on the inside now. He's the one that needs to make hay early because he's the first one on the prime tires. He needs to make up as many positions as he possibly can. And frankly, I have not seen Cohen start this far back in a road course race in a long time.
Yeah, he's pretty good on the road, so he obviously must not have put together a good series of laps there. As we go down the back straightaway here. Or
I think it's just a deep field. I think it's just a deep field right now.
It is. That's compliments to everybody in this field, and just how tight it is. Just listening to my audio on my phone, because like I said, I've had some interesting audio issues here this week. So basically, long story short, my I had an update on my computer Tuesday night, and it took away my Realtek audio, and it made everything come to one speaker now, instead of going out onto like on two speakers. I have a headset, but then regular speakers on my computer. Everything's out my headset right now.
Yeah, we completed a lot yet. We're coming down the Canada corner, and Morris is already out a second and a half.
He's got a pretty good jump on Nate Brody there. He knows what kind of competition he's got with the 33 there as they come through the 13-14 section here out of Canada corner. And there's Brody right there to second position. Issac Morris picking up where he's left off in almost every road race this season, leading lap number 1. As trouble for Andres Perez and David Wimsey, they have gone off track. And Charles Baldwin, something has gone wrong here. He just hit the tire barriers in 14. And he is going to toast. So both he and David Wimsey off the track early in this race.
Yeah, all you have to do is pace yourself here. You're going to have people that are going to make mistakes in front of you. You need to prevent the mistakes and allow people to make the mistakes in front of you so you can just simply pass them. There's no reason, especially if you're in the back of the pack, to really push yourself too hard, because you're not gonna be really in the position for the win, but you definitely want to be put yourself in a position for a better finish. That's what you want to do when you're in the back.
As they say in racing, to finish first, you must first finish.
Finish, yes.
I get that backwards all the damn time, but I got it right today. Woo-hoo.
Now Morris now out to 2 seconds already. We're turning and the turn 8 coming into the carousel.
So obviously he's trying to build a lead on these soft tires so he can get off them as much as possible. But Brody, obviously, he's out to his own 1.5 second lead over Stephen Larkamp. Blackwood up to 4th. Kite Bombers back to 5th. And otherwise, only 3 drivers in the field have used any push to passes so far, and one of them's off the track as we ride with Larkamp down into Canada corner.
Yeah, that Canada corner, that's turn 12.
Yep.
It's very deceptive. It's a lot faster than it looks.
But it can also be trickier than it looks. I mean, it looks like a basic right-handed corner, but no, there's a slight elevation change in that corner that can actually spin you out. It's very easy to spin out around that corner, especially if you goose it too much. As we watch Lester back here, who I think is having some kind of warping issues again, because his right pod, like his engine cover, was up in the air for a second, and then it came back down. So I don't know what's going on there. But Lester, as we know, has been very notorious for some connection issues.
Bad pings. Yeah, bad pings. Nate Brody, 1:45.1 purple lap that time around. And so that means you would think Isaac would be faster, but with that 2.1 second lead, but Nate is throwing down the purple laps.
Which that might be more of a thing of where Nate was letting the tires come up to temp when Isaac went ahead and took off. And the one thing we'll have to watch too is over here at turn 5, we were just watching him. Brody had about half of his car off the track. That turn 5, I've learned here in the last couple of seasons, you could put that car almost up against the outside wall into the left-hander there to get even bigger of an apex in that corner. And it does not count as an off track.
You can. I call it the Dakota maneuver. I'm surprised that iRacing hasn't knocked down on that one too much. There was talk that they were actually going to make some changes in that, because iRacing was beginning to notice that people were using the rumble strip area a little bit too liberally. And I thought they actually narrowed that down. Maybe they have. They just haven't narrowed it down enough there. But there were people straight out to the wall trying to make that left-hand turn at turn 5 there.
We ride with Sam Blackwood here, who's right in front of Kite Bombers. 2 teammates here for Kamagoye. It looks like you guys have got some sponsors now. Congratulations on that.
It's a little bit, but it helps.
Not sure what Gary had to jump through to get that to happen. Rumor has it outside of the Kamagoye offices in, let's see, what town? Let's call it Economy, Indiana, which is just to the west of Of course, I'm going to screw this all up now. The Anderson and over in that area, I remember driving through that town going to a football game once, so I'm just going with Economy, Indiana. They had a dunk tank outside the shop for Gary, and that was part of the sponsorship things, is that he had to send in a dunk tape and get dunked by people.
Come on, we're in a better town from outside of Anderson.
What's that?
Come on, we're from a better town outside of Anderson than that. Come on now.
I just thought of Economy, because that's the first random name I could think of. I remember driving through there, and it was like in 2012, and I'm sitting there like, outside of saying like 15 times, I went through that town. I'm like, man, can you imagine if this was 2008 and we were driving through here? You think this town would crash?
I'll see.
Who is that?
I love the Indiana accent of Brazil or and Rushville or Rushville. And
it is Rushville, I've learned. I said Rushville on the radio in Kokomo for the first time, and I about had all 10 people that live in that town call me. It was not pretty. You got Rossville, and you got Frankfurt, by the way, home of the hot dogs. Carlos Dotero with issues. He is over in the tire barriers off of Canada Corner. Remember I talked about how tricky that corner is. He has spun it out, not seeing any damage right here on board the left wing, but let's get a full view of the car here. But Carlos Dotero has gone off, and I don't see any damage.
And now that's going to hurt him in the championship points. He's 6th right now.
Let's see what happens to him here. He goes through the kink wide open up to about 180 miles an hour right here. I'm going to guess if he does what I think he's going to do. Yep, got on the gas a little too much there. Carried the speed, and that's where it gets tricky. He does a good job locking it down. Netcode's the tire barrier there. I don't know if you saw the right front wing kind of flop a little bit. But it's so easy to get, and I don't know what it is, if it's just that slight slope or something, but something causes your car, if you get too much gas on it, or maybe you're just too fast into the corner, will spin the thing out. I am yet to figure that one out.
About 3 laps to see who's going to be among the earliest takers here on pit road.
Yes, lap 8 is the opening of the pits, and you might see some of the drivers on the reds maybe come to pit road at that moment, but I have a feeling that you could probably get a good 11 or 12 laps out of these tires, and if you can, that does still set you up to go all the way on a 3-stop strategy.
Issac Morris, purple, 144.548.
Issac has led every lap so far in this race. Up the hill to the start-finish line. Kite on the back bumper of his teammate there, both of them about 6 seconds back.
Yeah, if I'm guessing that they're doing a bit of a, what they call it in Formula One game, DRS train, I think they're in a bit of a draft train here where they're trying to help each other maximize on that fuel mileage.
Well, and that's what we saw, remember, a couple seasons ago. Eric O'Connor and Issac Morris did that here. As they both crossed the line 1-2 nose to nose in the race. They just kind of drafted off each other and ran the same strategy up until I think it was the last stop of the race where, and I can't remember which one did, but one pitted 1 lap later just to kind of outmaneuver the other driver.
And that was it.
And that was all she wrote, but they were neck and neck the whole entire race.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that TI is not kind of subscribing to that same strategy right now. Isaac is just flat out just driving away from Nate Brody right now. You thought maybe they would maybe coordinate a little bit better, but it seems like that Nate's going to provide to be the middleman here, and he's going to allow Isaac just to kind of run away and be the fox to all these hounds.
Well, you know what you think too? Maybe Isaac's thinking a little different tonight after what happened in Daytona last week. He realized that he was the guy that they were chasing and was maybe uncomfortable for him. So he figures tonight, you know what? Let's outrun these guys, and then we won't worry about being chased tonight. You can just kind of go comfortable in the victory lane. But
well, where he is right now, he's definitely not saving gas. Let's put it that way.
No, he's going hard, going all out right now. Best car right now on the primes is Ed Kerstetter right now. Ed running in the
P6.
6th position right now in this race. Steve Grabowski having issues. He jumps to pit road. Looks like Lopez has had a little off. So a lot of guys in the back struggling right now in this race. And I see issues for Kite. Yeah, Kite had it off. So once again, early in the race, Kite has gone off the track. And let's go back here. Jim Herrick has had issues. He and Dan Marrera, as Marrera's on pit road with no left front tire. One of the cleaner drivers in all of TI Racing, Dan Marrera, and that left front is all screwed up. Well, let's see what happened in this skirmish. Oh, Dan's already got a destroyed left front, and I think Jim just goes avoiding him and goes through the kitty litter. I mean, that's one way of avoiding him. But unfortunately, it's cost him a few positions. But Dan Marrera must have had an issue that broke that left front. He's got the repair, and he is gone. Appreciate the viewers watching tonight here on Captain TV. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, please. As we're firmly over the 500 mark now, and I appreciate that very much. All the drivers and viewers who have subscribed to the channel. If you're not new to the channel, we appreciate you coming back and joining us, and hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast tonight. Obviously, some great racing so far out here at the virtual Road America, as you've got Issac Morris, a 3.8-second lead over Nate Brody, Larkamp there in third, and then from there you've got 5 cars within about 2 seconds of each other from 4th back to about the 8th position, and Cohen Evans. And one thing, as you were talking a little bit ago, Gary, we rode with Cohen. He's kind of running a Scott Dixon strategy here. I can hear him, and he's going to do it right here. Let's listen. How he gets off the throttle and lets it roll to the mark where you hit to get in that corner.
Yeah, he's banking on the long game for this run, trying to save as much fuel as possible. And we all, of course, know that Scotty D is the master of that.
The only man I know of that can sit there and save fuel and actually gain time saving fuel. As he sticks his nose there kind of in the mirror of Ido Vila, trying to do the old put him in the mirror and make him screw up move. Now, Ido tonight making his first start for TI. Do you think Chris Lewis, who's the owner of not only the league but TI Racing, do you think he has a fly swatter or some kind of spatula in his hand and their team room that says every time Ido starts to hit push to pass, he's going to swat him in the hand?
So there's got to be some form of punishment, because
he's only hit it once so far.
He's only hit it once so far, and that's normally he's like halfway through by this point in time of any type of race.
Or maybe it's a team fine or something. I mean, this is
I know.
You got some breaking news here potentially. Ido Vila rationalizing push to passes. But Ido right on the back bumper of Ed Kerstetter, the newest driver for LMC Gear, had a rough start to the team last week. But Ed out here again, 6th position right now, 4th in points in tonight. And again, the big note: he missed the first race of the season. He was not here. Showed up at Auto Club, went to Victory Lane as an independent driver, signed on with LMC Gear, and well, the rest is history from there. Like I said last week, with the addition of Alex Van de Sant, I did it again, Cohen Evans, and obviously Jim Herrick, and now Ed Kerstetter, you got a pretty intelligent group of lads there in that team.
Yeah, they stepped it up. They've stepped it up.
Cohen once again poking his nose on Ido. Nope. It's a very tricky move to make. Get in the mirror and kind of make him like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Thinking he's inside. You make the screw up, and all of a sudden you make the pass.
We are starting lap 9, or in the middle of lap 9 now, and it looks like we have no early takers for that early window. Of course, the window is open from lap 8 all the way through lap 15, roughly. So we can see anybody stop here early.
I was just saying, if anyone's going to go early, it's probably going to be the ones on the reds, not the primes, because those things you can run.
True.
So
you'll be looking at Morris, Brody, Larkamp, Blackwood, Bommersbach, and Vila making those early stops. Right now, Ed, he's going to be playing the long game because he has the primes on and he wants to go as long as possible.
And we are coming up on lap number 10, and we did this last week, and I thought it was a pretty neat tie considering I did it kind of accidentally, but tonight I'm going to do it on purpose. It is lap 10, which means you can get 10% off at lmcgear.com. Lightweight motorcycle camping gear by just typing in iRacing 10 when you go to the website for the purchase. Again, that is lmcgear.com, and you can type in TI10, hi Jim, as you can get to 10% off any order there. Again, lmcgear.com, as we ride with Jim Herrick there in the background. And guessing he's coming up the hill here off turn 14. Sure is. I guess it wouldn't be a Road America race, Gary, if I didn't ask you about the moment that happened back in 1982.
A lot of things have happened, so...
Well, I mean, not since 1982, but I mean a specific Road America race in an Indy car.
You're talking about Hector Ribaki?
Yes, sir. We always talk about Ribaki when we come to Road America.
Yeah, he was a part-time driver for Forsyth Racing back in the early 80s. Was a Formula One driver, came over to IndyCar, just did a couple races. I think this was his only win. And after that, he promptly retired and says, you know what, I'm done. But this was Forsyth Racing's very first win. If you think of all the people that have raced for Forsyth, this is where it started for him.
One of my favorite stories. I love that story. Cohen Evans makes the pass on Edu Vila for the 7th position here as they come into Canada Corners. Lester's had issues. Lester's parked it over, I think that's over in the kink or something, but he is destroyed the right front, is towed. But Lester with issues. That's exactly where it happened. Looks like the kink. Did he get too much curve? Ooh, oh. As they would say in F1, that is one heck of a shunt.
Maybe you want to talk about a shunt. We'll go back to a couple of weeks ago. I was spotting with Isaac at the ISOWC race here, and he hit something on the front straight called a landmine, which basically made his car cartwheel, and that's a shunt right there. And it's like a little bug in the program that basically allows your car to kind of fall through the textures, and then all of a sudden hits. The textures all solidify, and then it just lurches your car forward and just wrecks you.
It's called a fire.
That's a shunt.
That's a fire.
Yeah, that's a shunt. Yeah, and they call that a landmine, and I'm not quite sure if a landmine's the correct terminology for that. Pothole, maybe. I mean, you know, the Wisconsin winters are pretty tough on the asphalt up here, but yeah, that was that made all sorts of iRacing highlight reels from that little incident a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they that's the only thing I think Gary didn't yell, actually, was the whole fire in the hole before he hit it.
Well, we both, when it happened, we're like, what? We're just speechless. Like, what the heck just happened?
I think the broadcasters that night were probably like, well. I mean, it goes up to the truck race we broadcasted Wednesday night last week from Pocono. We had a truck spin the tires, go head first in the outside wall as it passed the start-finish line, and it flew up into the air and actually went backwards, back across the start-finish line. And still a week later, I'm trying to figure out if he actually completed that lap or went back to the other lap.
Physics.
Right? That's like, I remember calling a game at Lafayette Jefferson High School, doing a PA for the Broncos up there. And I remember watching it was a 4th down, and the punter proceeded to kick the ball from the 27-yard line, and the defensive team, which I do not remember who it was, proceeded to have a 1st and goal at the 2. Now you're thinking, oh, wow, 25-yard kick return. No, the ball flew backwards 25 yards because of the wind.
And they were just better to take the knee on fourth down.
The ball went straight in the air.
They would have better field position.
The ball went straight in the air. Okay, so and the wind kind of carried it a little bit, and it hit the ground, and of course with the rotation, it just takes off backwards, and I'm like, how am I supposed to announce this? This kid's gonna feel terrible.
So Kite did pit at lap 11. I think he had his fill of those tires, and he is back onto the primes. So he made his stop at lap 10. He had enough.
Yeah, Kite had an off over at lap number 7. It looks like here, going into turn 1. We got it on board here. Oh, easy. I lost the back end. That's a very fast third gear corner right there. I mean, that there is a D-I-Do. Watch it one more again. Yeah, that's do we rate that a 101?
Yeah, good hands. I mean, he very smoothly lets go on the killer, recollects it, gets back underway, lost a little time, but he didn't lose the car entirely, and that's a sign of a good driver right there.
On board with Sam Blackwood running into 4th position here. He's got oh, okay, no, Ed's right behind him. I was about to say Ed was like right behind it, but now all of a sudden it says 4 seconds. I must have misread that for a second. But Cohen Evans about 6/10 behind.
Yeah, that's your battle on the racetrack right now. Is that battle for 5th and 6th, even though they're teammates. That is the closest battle on the racetrack. It's probably the most exciting one. So,
yeah, and that's what's great about this kind of racing is all the separation and all the strategies you start to see here with those who have pitted so far. You mentioned Kite's the only one who has pitted that's up there near the lead. Now, Dan Marrera also pitted, but his was more for damage. He had an 8-second pit stop, got the repair. The problem for him is now he has to find a way to do 44 laps.
Yeah, he's going to have to make an extra stop.
That's,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, he's going to have to make an extra
stop. Well, can you stretch 15?
Can he stretch 15 is the thing.
I mean, Dan, with the pace he can run, I think Dan can do it. Now, is it going to be worth any kind of gain of track? Well, no, probably not, because you're going to have to go at a pace that's probably going to be off the pace. As Isaac's on pit road, leader's in. But I think it's something, I mean, he might not have a choice to try if he's going to want to not finish 14th tonight.
And Brody's in as well.
Top
so
four.
the teams of, and here comes Larkamp as well. So monkey see, monkey do right now. Everyone's going into 13.
But you know what's funny?
Cohen Evans is staying out. You called it on Cohen, is that he was nursing that throttle, and that's going to allow him another lap in this. But unfortunately, he lost his drafting buddy, Kerstetter, so he's going to be by himself this time around.
But here's where I go back. I said this last night in a race. I actually won a Pocono ARCA race last night in another league. And
ARCA break? No, it's game.
No. Well, no. I actually, it was fuel mileage I ended up winning the race on. And the guy in the broadcast asked me, he's like, yeah, I won a fuel mileage race at Pocono. If you need lessons, Gary, let me know. But basically, the guy asked me, what did you do different? Because I was not the fastest car. It was another guy that had us blown away. But, the one thing I say, and I say it every week on here, if you follow the leader, guess what you're going to do at the end of the race? You're going to follow the leader. So I think eventually, first through 5th, they're coming on pit roads. You had Isaac, you had Brody, you had Larkamp, Blackwood, Bombers, or those 4, sorry. If those guys continue to follow Issac Morris, they're going to finish behind Isaac Morris. Cohen Evans is doing something different. Ido Vila doing something different. So
that's true. However, if let's say you had 2 cars that were behind Isaac that were drafting off each other, and let's say that they're going to pit, they're going to follow the leader and pit the first time, maybe follow the leader and pit the second time, but in the process they're also saving fuel, meaning that last stop will be a shorter fill. If they're staying within contact with the leader, they should pass the leader at that point on pit road. Which is,
when you look at it, different, because yeah, you're following the leader, but what you're not following is you're actually saving fuel and stuff. So it's a little different. It's a different kind of follow the leader in that standpoint. Instead of following on the pit road in this case, which you are, you're not running as hard. Which I see your point on that. But it's like, I guess when you realize that a car is faster, like Isaac has been this whole entire race, you got to do something different if you're going to beat him.
Isaac is picking back up the lead as a stop cycle, so it's going to be Morris, Brody, and Larkamp. It really hasn't changed too much there, although Larkamp cutting the Brody's lead just a tick, but not much.
And that lead is now 6.3 seconds over Nate Brody, and Isaac's on the alternate reds now. Or actually, no, he's still on the alternate reds. I'm sorry, he was on those the first time. Ito Vila, Luke Daniels on pit road. Ito a 9.6 second stop. And I think we'll have to check the Ito Vila files, which are next to the Penske files from Seinfeld, that this might be the least amount of push-to-passes he's used in a run in his career.
Well, currently playing the role of Ito Vila tonight is Isaac Lopez.
He's replaced him.
And he is down to 4. Carlos Del Toro, normally I don't see him using that many, but he's coming from deeper in the field than normally he's used to. He's got 5 left. So we've got a couple of these guys getting pretty close to Winchester on the push to passes, and we're not even halfway through the race yet.
I'm trying to think back. I'll have to go look at the numbers. Did Carlos Del Toro, didn't he have a good run here last season? I have to go back and see if I can find the standings from last season's race, but I believe Del Toro had a top 5 in this race. So I remember saying his name an awful lot. Either way, on board Ed Kerstetter as he has just come off pit road. He is on the prime tires, so top 2 are on the alternate reds, and then 3rd through 7th are on the primes. Ito Vila, Dan Marrera back on the softs, and then Luke Daniels, Isaac Lopez on the primes, Dotero soft, Herrick prime, and that's your top 13. Now, Dan Marrera, we talked about his strategy. We were starting to talk about it for the pit stops happening there. So, obviously he's in a situation now where he's got to find a way to do 15 laps in a stint. Right now, he is in 9th position, so he is back in cycle with the leaders. The problem is, though, he's going to have to pit in the next probably 5 laps.
Yeah, his stint is more than half over, so he's 8 laps into his current stint, and he'll be pitting sometime in the next 5 to 6 laps.
And he's in a spot right now where he really can't throw an audible in and say, I'm pitting now, because he does that. He's now going to play catch the back of the field, basically, the rest of this race. So, as you know what, let's throw up the old fuel board, as I like to call it, and let's see. We're actually not going to be able to see Dan Marrera on the screen here, but you see Kite pitted at lap 10, the rest of the guys lap 13, except for Evans and Vila, who pitted at lap 14, and again lap number 6 for Dan Marrera. So Dan is going to have to do 15, which would get you to 36, and then do another 15 to get you to 51. Which is not easy. Finish of the race. It's not going to be easy. Can it be done at this kind of track? Absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to have a short shift. You can't have the pedal down all the way to the floor, especially coming down kettle bottoms in the Canada corner, especially going up that front straight. You got to play with it a little bit and short shifting, and then trying to find someone to draft off of, because draft does make a difference here at a road course.
And battle between the push-to-pass hoarders back here for 11, as Dotero and Lopez with a combined 6 push-to-passes left compared to everybody else that has 9 or more. Well, I'm sorry.
It's 4-2. It's like 6. A baseball game back there.
The Brewers are. Where's Bob Euchre at? The Brewers are beating them.
Missed it by that much.
Hey, trying to corner me.
Just a bit outside.
Oh, classic movie. Kite Bommersbach up here in the 4th position now after his.
But he's off cycle, so slightly off cycle.
I was going to say, he's 3 laps off cycle.
Well, he's in the window, because we all knew the window to kind of get to the end kind of opened at lap 8 and ran through about lap 15 or something. So he's in the window, but he's on a slightly different strategy with everyone else around him.
So in his case, he pitted at lap 10, so he would have to go, let's see, if he does 14, we'll call it, that's 24. Another 14 gets him to 48, and then 12 to the finish. But that would be a 3-stop strategy. So, yeah, he would be okay, but he's going to have to go long on 2 of these strategies.
And he's only 6 laps into his current stint, so he's just shy of halfway. When he makes his next lap, he will be right at halfway for his current stint. 2
guys who are really getting to know each other very well. Dan Marrera, Luke Daniels for the 9th position. Luke and Dan both run over in the Captain League that I've started up that runs on Thursday nights. Dan winning the race last week at Kansas in a stunning event. Dan was pretty darn happy, needless to say, and I can't say some of the stuff he said because it's just nowhere near safe for work. And when I say nowhere near, I mean it's outside this country. And so is he. But Luke Daniels obviously is running there, and they both have had great starts to that, and really are battling it out now for the 9th position. But Dan, as I mentioned, great off strategy.
Sam Blackwood just put a pass on Kite for P4.
Is that a tire difference right there with 3 laps?
Tire difference could be. I mean, but they're both on the prime, so
I mean, 12 miles. Let's look at it like that.
Let's see, 12, possibly. It also could be that Kite's just like, hey man, you're faster than me, go.
Or is Kite maybe saving a little fuel?
No, that we know he's an extremely intelligent guy, and that could be possibly what he's doing right there. He's like, you know what, go ahead, go, and I'll save fuel off you. They might also be, I mean, since they are teammates, they might also be coordinating this thing where he leads 2 laps and Sam leads 2 laps and he leads 2 laps, and as they kind of move through their stint, but they're not on identical stints, so you can only do that for so long. And while they do that, they're also kind of losing time to Ed, who's kind of tracking this group down.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at is that other purple car that's there behind him. The can we call it the purple people eater?
Well, it needs to pass people in order to be eating them. Right now, he hasn't done much of that.
Well, he's eating the dots right now on these guys. Anyways, but Cohen Evans, did he have a little issue? That's all he had. He went off the track there for a split second.
Car at pit entry. Not sure who that was. I think it was might have been Baldwin. Yeah, Kite is just right in the slipstream of Sam right there.
They're just riding about 0.3 of a second back. I'll tell you what, Blackwood is some pretty good laps down right now. 46.4 there. He's about 5 seconds back from Markamp. Uh-oh. Are we going to have our first Winchester of the night?
We might be going Winchester here. If you don't know what Winchester is, that's a fighter jockey term for out of missiles, out of ammunition, and he is almost out of his shots here. He has got 1 push to pass left. Not Carlos Otero.
Yes, Otero about to run out of push to passes. I'm trying to remember the football player that I've heard reference on a show before. Golston, Vernon Golston. Apparently started a game, played every snap in the game, and recorded absolutely no stats. No tackles, no sacks, or something like that in the game once. So I heard them reference once when he said, well, yeah, he went out there and pulled a Golston today. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I went and looked it up, and that's exactly what it meant. So soon here, Carlos Otero, we see another pass as Kite has gone by Sam, and Sam kind of pulled over for him. So I think you might be onto something there. Not that you're the team owner and probably know it, but, you know, you might be onto something with this whole switcheroo thing. And Ed Kerstetter probably scratching his helmet like, eh.
Yeah, Ed was trying to sneak through there in Canada corner and didn't quite have the momentum to pull him through. But as they were setting it all up, you saw Kite hit push to pass, allowed him to use the slipstream to get around Sam, and then Slam shuts the door on Ed there. And now they're kind of doing the same thing again amongst themselves. And hey, they're teammates. And people that are watching this and don't think that teammates, there's like team communications going on, believe me, there is team communications going on. If you don't think that there's team orders involved, there's probably team orders involved. These teams do a lot of coordination, and it's not an easy thing to do, but when you can coordinate to help each other out, it only helps you on the track.
Dan Barrera is on pit road, 14 laps on this stint, so he's going to pit at lap 20. So now he's going to have to do 15 laps.
Actually, I'm showing him 12 laps on that stint, so I don't know whose stats are right though.
Well, he put in lap 6, and 6 plus 14 is 20.
My overlay says current stint 12 laps. So I don't know.
Okay.
We'll go off yours. That's what people are seeing. We'll go off yours.
Well,
That's what people are seeing.
I'm sitting there like, how's that saying 12 laps when he put in lap 6, he went 14 to get to 20. Kind of like that guy, Deck guy from Shane.
Okay, here's Ed. Ed and Sam side by side in Canada corner. I don't know if you're watching that battle, but they are wheel to wheel at the moment.
Side there. Oh.
Yeah.
That corner there is so fast and sweeping. It's so hard to go side by side. Oh, Pruitt fade. It's got the move though.
And if you don't know what the Pruitt fade is, it is a slow block going by.
Oh my gosh!
Right in there to the oh wow! He threw a block on him there, and he threw another blind block on him that way too. Wow! That's one way to get Sam heated under the collar right there. He's gonna ride him all the way down to this braking zone.
Now, if you're Ed though, are you kind of there's a Pruitt fade crossover? Woo! Oh, and broke the wing. Now, Ed, we know, is a driver that if he feels like you ain't racing him right, he's going to fire it back at you.
Yeah, and he's not happy on the radio right there. And it looks like the wing all of a sudden snapped back in the position for Sam as we saw it fly off the car. So iRacing physics once again. But Ed was getting raced pretty hard there, and he was not happy about it.
Now, I was going to say, though, now, obviously, yes, you could call that blocking down the straightaway there coming to turn 5. Now, in Ed's defense, is he fair with what he's doing because of how tight Sam was on him?
I don't know. I mean, you're allowed one move. It's the counter move that gets a little hairy right there. So he did make a counter move. So it's up to Sam if he's going to report that or not, or make it to the race stewards to make a decision on that one. The first move was fine, and we were talking about the Pruitt fade, and that's kind of nicknamed after Scott Pruitt, former IndyCar driver and also a sports car driver. One of the things he would do is he would slowly arc the car down the straightaway and kind of block you, but not without throwing on the blatant jerking of the wheel, and you see the car make a massive jump type of block. And that's where that was kind of coined. It's also it's called the Brazilian fade sometimes because I think Castro Neves used it pretty good as well. But there are ways to kind of disguise that. But the jerking of the wheel that we saw on the second move that he did there, that is not a good way to disguise that.
So I'm going to let you describe this here because we're going to come back. Here's the replay right here. Is they're going to come up the front straightaway. That's right there is where it almost started when they were side by side through turn 13. And I'll let you describe it from here what you're seeing because there's the fade, the start of it. Yeah,
that's the Pruitt. And now he's inside, so I can't do anything else. He can maybe close the gap and make it a little more uncomfortable for Ed, especially to make this turn in the one. His arc won't be as wide. But Ed outbreaks him here. Okay, here's the one move. There's the second move right there. So that's where I say it's a little questionable. I'm not saying it's dirty. I'm just saying a little questionable.
And then here is he protecting here? Well, of course we're on board here.
He's protecting because the inside is the faster line, so he is definitely protecting there.
There's the contact, double contact. So, and just to explain for those watching for the first time tonight or not sure how the rules go, as you see Isaac out to a 9-second lead now. We haven't really seen him much. But basically, Chris Lewis is the owner of the league, and he also does the adminning. And there's some nights where, lately he's actually had some other stuff going on personally. And so in the event, the other admin on the track happens to be on my screen right now. He's leading the race, so you kind of can't make a call. By the way, Dortero is
Winchester.
So they have a protestable room in the Discord channel, and one of those drivers, I'm pretty sure after the race, we're going to see somebody with a Gettysburg Address probably in the protest room. describing what all took place, and the admins will go look at it, and they'll make a call, which I don't know if this is the week you want to have a call made, because Indianapolis is next week, the biggest race of this league, and I would hate to see one of those two drivers have a drive-through penalty or something at the start of that race. But something like that could come up in EOL or a drive-through.
You could be looking actually looking at two penalties. You could be looking at a possible block by Kerstetter, and you could also be looking at possible avoidable contact by Blackwood. So that's why being an admin pays the big bucks, which it doesn't, and it's not worth the headache sometimes, because they're gonna make a call that's gonna probably make nobody happy here.
Wait a minute, you make as much money as an admin as you do at the soup kitchen? What's wrong with this pitcher?
Track temp has come down as this race is going on. It's 97 degrees, so that's going to help the tire wear. Certainly, folks with the alts on, the primes probably not going to be as impactful.
Up, Kite's on pit road here, lap 24.
So Kite was 12 laps on that stint, so it's a little bit shorter than he wanted to, but it gets him in the window.
I'm a little worried about the system. Did he not pit at lap 10?
I'm just saying what my system's saying, that's all.
I want to investigate that system, see if it was created in Florida like I was. Hashtag 2 things that can't do math. Like I said myself. Yeah. So Morris leads. And Kite's a little bit longer stop here, 9.5. And that very tricky pit road exit.
It's a huge pit road. You feel like you're on it forever. Now, if they would actually adopt what real IndyCar racing does, it's a 2-stage pit road. There's a first speed limit, and then there's a second speed limit to kind of help you cruise your way down at a little bit smoother and faster. I wish iRacing would do that, but again, this is a NASCAR sim, and we're just racing Indy cars because we live in a NASCAR world.
Well, I mean, we say that, and it seems like we always debate this every time. But, we do look at the announcements that came out this week. And there is a little bit of a surface change that could potentially be happening. And I don't mean like we're going to see, rocks or gravel or something like that on a track. But we will see a certain type of precipitation on a track in the near future.
And that's something that we haven't really seen, at least on the IndyCar side of things, since the old IndyCar racing sims back in the 90s, where they actually had rain races as well. But that's more not because of IndyCar. That's just mainly because of all the people on the service that are sports car drivers that have been hounding them, saying, give us rain, give us rain, give us rain. I don't think if that was just IndyCar drivers saying give us rain, that would never be done.
But I want to throw this scenario at you, because I had this discussion on the podcast last night with the rain coming out now. Could you imagine, hypothetically speaking, we're racing Road America, and Road America I think this is the perfect track to use this example at, because it seems like every race I watch on TV at Road America, rain shows up somehow. It'd be a perfectly sunny day, 0% chance of rain. Oh, there's a cloud. Could you imagine being on like lap 25 of this race, and all of a sudden with random weather and stuff, the cloud opens up on the track?
It's just like real racing, where do I come in? Do I stay on the slicks? Do I go to my intermediates? Do I go to full wets? Depending on what type of tire availability is going to be that they're going to make for the game. The other thing that's kind of worrying me about the future of seeing cool things for Indy cars on iRacing is this IndyCar racing game that is coming out. That's officially licensed by IndyCar, and it's the same folks that do NASCAR Heat. That's kind of worrying a lot of folks too, because that's going to be IndyCar's official platform for esports and online racing and all that stuff when that comes out. That's going to take the place of iRacing. Is iRacing still going to give the same love and attention to IndyCar as they normally would have, or they're going to be like, well, we're just going to have it on the service because there's some people like IndyCar, but really, if you want to do the real IndyCar thing, you got to go out and get the officially licensed game that's coming out in 2023. So I'm a little concerned about that right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. That game, the creator there, I believe it's Monster Games or whatever I forget the actual name of the company is.
Motorsports Games.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same company that made the IndyCar games back over a decade ago?
No, they. You're talking about the ones that came out like for the
Xbox,
IndyCar Racing 2005,
yes,
and that was Codemasters, I believe.
Okay, I just thought for some reason Codemasters merged with and led to where we're at now. But
no, Codemasters is they still they do F1. They do the F1 game.
Okay,
so they're still around and kicking. And I would be even happy if Codemasters, because they do F1 really well, and I'd be happy to see that. But I'm a little concerned that you got a company that's only known for doing NASCAR racing and NASCAR arcade type game is going to be doing IndyCar, and how realistic that's going to be, and that type of thing. And it's going to be. They did buy the code for R Factor too, and so there's thought that it might be based on that a little bit. So maybe will we see what would the mods be available that the fandom can develop and everything, because that ultimately will give you the longevity of a game. If they're just going to come out and kind of lock down the code as is, everyone's just going to kind of master the tracks as they are, and they're going to stop playing the game. If you don't open it up for modding and having the fun like that, I mean, how else are we going to add new tracks? How are we going to add new cars and all that type of stuff? Sorry, yeah, we get back to the real thing. Leaders on pit road.
Well, no, and I got something I want to add to that here, but we'll watch these pit stops real quickly here. Is lap 25, right at the halfway point. Issac Morris, Nate Brody,
First three are in.
Larkamp,
First three are in. Boom, boom, boom.
We'll see if Ed comes to pit road here. He's about 11 seconds. Yep, Ed's coming, so let's see if Sam Blackwood comes. If it all goes the way it should, Cohen Evans will be the one staying out. So here's Isaac.
Oh, Sam's staying out. Sam is staying out.
Wow. So there you go, the first guy that is doing a little different. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with what Gary said earlier, too, about the strategy. If you feel like you can be competitive enough to run with Isaac, and you can out-strategize him that way, then, yeah, follow him on pit road all the time. But what I've seen tonight here so far is Nate Brody's – oh, okay, I thought he was on pit road. That was Scott Larkamp I was looking at. My apologies. But, it shows tonight, I believe, that Isaac is the fastest car in this race, period. He's the best car. So when you have a situation like that, this is where you got to put in your head, all right, I got to do something different if I even got to have a shot, or else I'm going to finish second or third or fourth at best. Going back to the game.
Yeah.
The one thing that NASCAR did with Heat that is the only reason why I bought the game a couple times for the computer and just played it and stuff, and there were some things I didn't like about it, and one of the big things, me being the guy that likes realism, hence why I like iRacing so much, is if you were to do a long race or something, no matter how long the distance was, they had it set up to where nobody was out of the race. So if you eventually crashed out and you're in a season mode or something happened and you end up, just having to quit, you finish 40th every time. Because the other cars never wrecked out or anything. They would wreck, and it would be cautious, but they were never out of the race. And I think finally in number 5, they finally changed that.
Here comes Sam on pit road.
And Sam comes to pit road. So I'm hoping that they use the NASCAR game as an example to do that for IndyCar, to allow, of course I would love to see, like it used to be in the older days, where cars would blow up or cars would have tire issues or whatever, so that the realism comes into it. As Sam, you're not supposed to drive down the right side of pit road. But then again, technically he is doing the rules right, because they say drive down the right side of pit road. And somebody just went Spinarooski over, and it's Nate Brody. Nate Brody is spun over here in turn 1, and now there's a tire flipping around. Look at this. Somebody's lost a tire over in turn 2. I don't know who.
On board with Nate. He has all 4 attached.
But, I mean, I don't know if you saw it on my replay or when I was showing it live, but somebody's tire was going all tumblerooski down the straight. Look at it. It's over here in turn 1. Oh, right there, the car in front of him. Is that the 5?
That is going to be...
Is that Andres Perez? Because he was just getting... Yep, Brody spins. Andres Perez, yeah, he gets clipped, hits the wall, and there goes his left front. Look at that thing.
What does Waltrip say? If it could find time to leave me loose wheel. I'll give him credit for that one. That's actually pretty funny. Most of the Waltrip-isms, I'm like, come on, man. Come on. But yeah, you got you picked fun time to leave me wheel.
Cohen, who's only got about a 0.7 of a second lead on Issac Morris here, probably going to come to pit road this time by. He does, and that'll hand the lead to the 1. And obviously now with the Nate Brody Spinarooski, he is going to be some 18 seconds back now.
Spinaroonie.
You can go with that one too if you want. Or what's the word? Julie, like is Spinella or something like that.
Spinella. Yeah, Spinella. Yeah.
Isn't that the name of the young lady in the Recess TV show? It was like Spinelli or something like that.
My daughter's 18. I don't know.
That was a great show. I watched it on Saturday mornings on ABC. Luke Daniels on pit road. Here he comes, the Apex Sage, number 98.
Doing a good job. Got himself up in the top 10.
Yep. Looking for another solid finish. That's why he's 5th in points. And by the way, I can confirm at Daytona last week, he did not pull a Red Bull. He actually told me after race, and I never noticed this. He was on the same tires, not the same exact tires, but the same prime tires the whole entire race. So his strategy was to come in at 5 to go and flip to the other tires so that he would be within the rules. Hence,
good strategy.
Looked like a
that's a gutsy strategy right there. Just stopping for fuel only, and then
in the 4 tires, switching over to reds. And of course, he tried a Red Bull lap and proceeded to wreck on the last lap.
Well, and I'm not sure how much time. See, that's definitely and I'm not bad mouthing because his strategy worked out. That is definitely a NASCAR way of thinking because fuel typically goes in the NASCAR quicker than the tires are changed. It's different here in IndyCar racing. IndyCar racing, the tires typically are changed before the fuel is finished. So if you're going to come in and get fuel only, you might as well throw on tires anyways because everything is going to be done at the same time.
As Nate Brody all of a sudden has a Challenger on his back bumper. Here we go. How about the tailgate or the wing? We'll go with that term. How about that? I'm eliminating all my terminologies here for each car I watch. But Larkamp is on his back here, about 0.9 of a second behind now for the 2nd position.
Yeah, let's see. We see that Nate Brody has a really good driver's rating, high license safety rating. I mean, he's a karter. He knows what he's doing. But we really haven't seen him race too much in the league up to this point. I know Larkamp is a known quantity for me. He's a veteran racer. We already know that the caliber of racer that is involved in that league. We'll just see if Nate keeps himself under pressure here and doesn't get caught up with the fact that he just made a mistake and is maybe a little fluffed under the collar a little bit. I think already that he's recovered and is kind of putting some ground between himself and Steven. But if I knew that Steven's pedigree behind me, I'd be looking in my rearview mirror.
Well, and I'm sure he's checking it out. But they are 18 seconds back. They're both on the red tires now. Isaac is on the primes. So that is something to keep an eye on here. Isaac and Kite both on prime tires here. So as the sun also makes an appearance. The question we have here is, will we see Isaac and Kite go back to the alternate red tires when they come to their final pit stop, or do they stick with the prime tires? They don't. Yeah, they can do either or. Yeah. But which one do you prefer to do? Because they did soft the first 2 stints. Which I think kind of answers the question what they would likely do. All right, so let's check back here. Dan Marrero, Isaac Lopez. We've got a battle here. It's for 11th. Isaac just pitting at lap 26. Then Dan pitted at lap 19. Dan is still looking, and Dan's still looking at a 2-stop race here for him, unfortunately. So I'm guessing Dan's probably going as hard as he can and saying, forget fuel, I just got to go.
Yeah, and if Lopez, if if he knows or he has the data that he can see that what's going on, he probably knows he doesn't have to push the issue here. He just knows that Morera is going to get out of the way eventually because he needs to make it stop.
Which should come here. We're at lap number 30 right now. He's at lap 11. Should be in the next 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, he's getting ready to start lap 11 here with skirt stint.
Which, if you know you're short and you got to do 2 stops, do you go ahead and just pit at this lap and just split it up 10 and 20?
You could. It's entirely up to you. Either way, I mean, it's not good for you because you have to make.
Well,
that
yeah, you're.
stop.
I mean, but it's almost
So
like
how do you want to limit the pain? Do you want to rip the Band-Aid off, or you just want to make it slow?
right.
So I don't know.
Where I'm going with Gary is, do you want to go longer and try to make up time to catch somebody with the newer tires, or do you pit as late as you can and knowing that that's where you're at?
I'd just go until the tank is dry.
Okay. Now they are both catching Luke Daniels right up ahead here, so we're going to have a 3-car fiesta here for the 10th, 11th, and 12th position. You see Luke up there in that red and black car as they go through the turn 7 section here, up into the carousel.
Yeah, turn 8, and then the 9 and 10 here make up the carousel.
So cool watching the cars in their different angles around that carousel.
Yeah, multiple lines through the carousel, depending on how your car is handling. The roll bars play a big role here. Of course, they don't have the weight jacker here. They don't need that. It's only in ovals. But the roll bars do play a big difference here. And the main area that it makes a difference is right there in the carousel.
So, question here, I got to ask this. On iRacing, and you might not know this answer, and it's totally fine. I'm just kind of throwing it out there because it's a curiosity question. This track actually has 2 setups to it. There's the regular road course that pretty much every race that we run on this track is ran. There's also a second part of the track as they come around the carousel that is like a chicane.
Yep,
that goes
chicane.
left and right. What is that for? I actually don't know this answer.
Well, I mean, it's one of the. You're right. It is one of the configurations that you can run on. I've only seen sports car type club races use that configuration. I have never seen the Indy cars use it. Never seen any of the high end sports cars that come here
Right.
that use it. So it's got to be for club racing, I'm guessing.
Now I'll have to look that
Maybe
up.
to slow them down from having to go full out from turn 10 all the way down to turn 12. I'm guessing.
Because we don't want Mazda Miatas going 100 mile an hour.
Oh, we don't need everyone doing their best Catherine Legg impersonation of the king.
Of course, I can't help but always think about the Cristiano Ronaldo right here too. So.
Oh, he hit the deer. Yeah.
Needless to say, Cristiano was like a deer in the headlights with when he saw that thing probably, but unfortunately hurt him too, which sucked.
Now this was almost the site of Alan Jr.'s last win in kart before he made the jump to the IRL. He was actually leading. Who are we watching right now? We're watching Morera and Isaac right where they came down to Canada Corner. He was leading the race coming last lap coming down to Canada Corner, and his engine blew up there, and it ended up happening.
Moved by
inside.
By
yeah, he told him. Yeah, he told him to go by.
Oh,
he told him to go by
because
he
was
was
pit road. That's why.
Yeah. And ended up Michael Andretti ended up winning that race, and I think shortly thereafter that was Al Jr.'s last season.
Little Al.
Yep.
As deemed by Paul Page back in the day. Little Al.
Yeah, even when he was the only Al on the track, he was still Little Al.
Right. It's like it's not Al Jr., like Dale Jr. It's Little Al. So Morera on pit road. So obviously, not sure what that was about. He coming to pit road now. He's obviously going to be short. He'll have to pit with probably about 3 laps to go, 3 or 4 to go. But I was watching Isaac come up the straightaway, and he pulled down the inside wall for some reason. I'm like, I don't think he's got a spotter watching from upstairs. So.
It's the early weave.
Either that or he knows he's on camera and he's already, he's starting his
well, notice he didn't do the weave at all at Daytona.
Well, he kind of had somebody stalking him at the end of two people were stalking him at the end of that race.
Well, I mean, if you're confident in your abilities to do it when no one's around, you do it when someone's around you.
True, but it's like, I mean, and we even asked him after the race.
It'd be like Babe Ruth, call your shot.
But, and at the same time, you know, we even said it after the race. We're like, you know what, dude? You don't have that kind of situation often, do you? He was like, I don't know what to say here. You know, usually he's the one kind of stalking the people, and he had two coming up on him. And I mean, one more lap, he might have been toast.
Yeah, we had a weekend this weekend at the ISOC Indy 500. It was not a Morris to God so weekend at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys started kind of back in the.
We improved positions, but yeah, we started 31st and finished 26th, but it wasn't a ride to remember. But you know, everyone's rookie ride in Indianapolis, especially when you're dealing with that caliber of talent around you. You know that you know what you need to improve. You know what you have to do. You got to, you know, so just do it. Come back next year, and we'll be, or next season, whenever they have that race, to be better. And that is the plan. But you know, it wouldn't be the first time that a rookie start hasn't gone well in Indianapolis. Why should it be any different for Isaac and me?
It was definitely not a Kurt Busch start for you, but
no.
But no, you definitely it was a tough field from what I saw and stuff like that. So
yeah, it was one caution for 3 laps.
The whole race, wow.
The whole race, one caution for 3 laps.
The real race,
and
two cautions, right? I believe.
Yeah, and it was like it was lap 7, and then after that point, it was balls to the wall, foot down. Everybody
laps.
was just going out lap after lap. And so I know he was tired. I was tired from just spotting because you have to keep your eyes open, and you're always looking at different screens and whatnot. I could only imagine, you know, those other drivers, how they were feeling. But yeah, there was one caution for 3 laps, and that caution came out on lap 7.
Wow, that's amazing. Should give a shout out real quick to Track Cams for Gourmet. Of course, they do give us cameras for all the road course races we have here on the TI schedule, and amongst the other leagues that we broadcast for here on Captain TV. You can check them out, trackcams22.com, and you can check out their oval packages, road course, rallycross, and so much more, as we actually have a drone that we're watching right now.
I love their cameras. They need to update some of them here shortly.
I have talked to the main guy. His name is Itzvan.
Yep.
He is working on updating, especially the oval cameras. He told me as soon as he gave these to me, he's like, I got to update the oval ones, and I'm working on it. So those are going to get updated, and the road ones are, I mean, they're right on par. I mean, you see, these are the cameras you're seeing when you're watching NBC. And
when you're watching NBC, exactly. And that's they put a great deal of work, but you know, I like to see some different angles, like at the iRacing Super Speedway, or I think Iowa still runs with kind of the default track pack for cameras as well. I like to see some better angles there and everything. But it's always good when you get on a road course, because chances are,
you went off, it looked like, for about 2 seconds or so, but Kerstetter did go by for the 4th position because of it. So mistake by Kite again. So last couple weeks, Kite's been making some, a little bobble there going into turn 14. That's twice now tonight that car has kind of gotten tail happy under braking.
He's a smart driver. He knows how to fix that.
I wonder, well, you know what I wonder? I wonder if it's a shifting thing. I want to see this, because yep, see, still on the downshift. I don't know if you heard that. My camera's not the best here for this car, but I don't know if you could hear it, but the car, as soon as he downshifted, the back end came around. But, you know, speaking of Indianapolis, I think we ought to share, I mean, I've already broken the news, but just a reminder for everybody, next week, you will not see Captain TV on the air broadcasting the race. Next week, Indianapolis, you're going to see the EMRN guys that covered the last race of the season last season. They're going to be back in the booth, as I was actually invited by iRacing to race for them at Indianapolis. I am actually going to be their specified oval driver, apparently, for the Indy 300.
The oval specialist, huh? Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like,
crown specialist.
I was thinking more crash specialist, but that works too. But either way, I'm going to put on one of these TI liveries here, and go have some fun myself here next week. So
I'm going to be up in the air. My wheel is DOA right now.
Are you saying that I need a spotter?
I'm available for spotting duties, but my wheel, my direct drive, the USB port gave out, so I had to ship that back to Fanatec today, as a matter of fact. And I don't know if I'll see that back in time or not. And the thought of having to pull out the old G29 to use that after using a Fanatec direct drive wheel for the last couple months, I don't know. Yeah, I was talking to some friends about it. It's kind of like in real racing when the driver wrecks his primary car and goes to his backup car, and he just and everything on the backup car is identical, right? And he'll come back and say it's just not the same. It's just not the same, and that's kind of what I'm afraid about. It's just you try these going back to this G29 wheel.
Oh, Lopez and Daniels get together in Canada corner. They went in there side by side, and they came together.
One's got a wobbly wheel, and this is and he's just lost the wheel. Yeah, nope, that's back. Hopefully he gets back. We got to see that under replay again.
This was just, I mean, I don't know if you call this avoidable contact or just close racing here. But Isaac has the inside on Luke. Luke gives him the room, and it's kind of tight. You know what? Does Isaac come up a little bit? From that angle, I mean, that wasn't the best angle. Let me rewind again here as we roll the beautiful bean footage a second time. Let's.
Yeah, he's coming in. He's going to get that fast repair hopefully and get back underway. But let's see this again.
Yeah, that's not the best angle either. Oh, that might be a good angle. As Kite's on pit road, by the way.
That's one of those things that if you're going to report it, let the stewards figure it out. He does drift up
into Luke, but Luke's they're both trying to come off the corner there. So I don't know if you can. Is that an iRace? Is that a racing incident? Now, I mean, I guess one thing that could play an element, and I say this in a joking manner, is when one of the admin's sponsorships on the other car. That could play a role because now you've damaged the image of that sponsor. As Kite's on pit road.
Kind of looks like he just kind of pushed up into him.
Yeah, it's a close call there, and I see where Isaac does kind of drift up out of the corner there, but you just hate to see it for both of them, obviously. And especially for Luke being 5th in points, he's now 13th in this race.
Yeah, and you gotta ask yourself. I mean, if Lopez really was faster than him, could he have picked another moment? Could he have gone back and said, "Okay, I'll try another shot," instead of forcing the issue here? Now that's going to probably come under the review of race control, and it might result in an EOL next race. So, right. And it was what for 10th position. Yeah. So you got kind of ask yourself, was it really worth it at that point?
Which. Granted, I'll play the other side here for a split second. Because 99% of the time I agree with you, but playing devil's advocate here. It is 10th position. It's a race. You're on the track battling for position, and there's no difference between racing for the lead and racing for 10th.
Right, but he was clearly faster than him. So, if he wasn't going to be able to pull off the pass safely, could he have waited to do it in 14? Could he waited to do it 1? Could he waited to do it 5?
Right.
Could he even waited to do it in 8? There's other opportunities if he was faster, which he was, because you saw him running down, that he could have probably pulled off another pass someplace else instead of forcing the issue there in Canada corner.
Which in the other corner.
It's always time versus place. Right. Is it the right time, right place, or is it the wrong time, wrong place? I think in this particular case, it was possibly wrong time, wrong place. Maybe it was another lap. Maybe he just needed to wait another lap and maybe get the pass done in Canada corner. But there are other opportunities to pass here on this road course, and you don't need to necessarily force the issue just because you feel like you can. Because then it's going to result in a penalty, probably.
Right.
But we'll see.
The other question was Isaac there when it comes to entering the corner, because a lot of the wrecks that get judged will judge by, okay, was he, I say the word there, but was he, committed is the word in my head, but it's not the right word, but had he gotten to his inside? I mean, he was committed, obviously, made the move, but was he officially to his inside to make that pass at the beginning of the corner? Because at that point, what's the difference between a dive bomb, you hear that term a lot, and a regular pass there. Did Isaac dive bomb him? No, absolutely not. As Issac Morris is on pit road, I don't think he dive bombed him at all. He was pretty close to being there. But
12
it's like, does
13 laps on this stint,
right.
by the way.
Yeah, 13 laps on this stint, but
across the start finish line.
Something like that. No, but the question, Gary, is was he far enough to his inside to be able to get away with that incident without it becoming a yeah, you could have backed off and let him into that corner to make the move.
But there isn't a rule that says if I'm alongside a car at a certain point, I need to let that car go. That's
Fair.
not a rule. That's a judgment call.
Right.
So that's up to the stewards to decide. You can't really say that, well, I'm alongside you, so give me the position. There's no rule that says just because you're alongside me and you're up like an inch or so alongside my car, then that automatically means I have to concede the position. So I don't think that necessarily either one of them had to concede the position. But I'm talking time and place and whether it was worth the move at that point.
And I'm talking about from the other side of the spectrum. If you're Isaac going into that corner, because obviously they're going to look at where was Isaac going into that corner. You know, because if he's still back and drives in that corner and side-by-side slides up, makes contact, then you can almost say, yes, that's a dive bomb. But if he is going into that corner, and he can't see me, I'm sitting there using my hands. If he's got his nose beside him going into the corner, does he have that corner? That's where I'm going with it.
So we got to watch here is Isaac on light tanks and alt tires. He's going to probably throw down some big laps. So he's on his out lap right now. 144.548 is his current fast lap. He's coming up this is his out lap right now. So he's just through Canada corner. We're going to see what this next lap is. And I bet you it's going to be a big one.
Which reminds me, last week at Daytona, if you remember, he ran a 130.5, I think it was, and then that next lap, I think he ran a 130.9. I talked to Isaac after the race, and I said I know that second lap was going to be the faster one. And he looked at, we weren't like face to face, but he said on the microphone to me, he goes, "Chris, my optimal for that lap said a 30.1, and he messed up." So that lap you saw when he ran to 30.5, and we were like, wow. He was going to go 0.4 quicker the next time by before he messed up on the lap. So when I say Isaac's usually first or second lap is the burner, it might not be this lap. This lap's going to be probably fast on him. But then the next lap, you're probably going to see like a 43.9 or something.
Yeah, he still hasn't used push to pass yet either. So
none of the top three have. As you see Blackwood on pit road again, having still a good run, even though I'm sure it's going to be a little investigated after this race with the contact with Ed Kerstetter earlier. But Sam's still 7th right now. And he's got his teammate Kite Bommersbach there about 7 seconds ahead. Nate Brody and Larkamp, they're still neck and neck here. Isaac out to about 25 seconds or so. He's got 10 on Cohen Evans with 25 ahead of this group here.
I think Cohen still has to stop.
Yeah, he's still got to stop.
He's stopping any minute now.
And I tell you what, it's getting worse for Luke Daniels. Jim Herrick just got by him, so I wonder if the 98's got some damage or something. That is, there's the first push to pass from Isaac as he comes up the straightaway. So this was a non-push to pass lap. Let's see what he runs.
Yeah, maybe he's 144.941, so he's a half second off his fastest lap. So maybe he's just using this one to build up some momentum. So maybe this is the lap to watch.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be the one where he puts down like a.
Okay, purple in sector 1.
Yep. Probably a 43.9. I'm calling that, and he's got draft out here in front of him too with Isaac.
He's on push to pass now.
Or Andres Perez. I keep calling him Isaac. Andres Perez. Brody on push to pass, also back here for third in this battle.
Purple in sector 2.
We're going to notice a trend here for the next couple of minutes, guys.
Now, whether or not Lopez is going to slow him down. Now, I think, I thought Lopez was trying to get out of the way.
If anything, he's going to pass him probably to carousel.
Purple and sector 3.
As I said, we're getting a pattern here. Actually, he's going to catch him at the right point. I think you're right down the.
Yeah, he's going to have the benefit of the draft.
He's on push to pass again. Jakes.
Yep.
We owe each other Cokes.
That means that both of our overlays are working correctly.
Finally.
Okay, so he's alongside. He's going to let him go this time. Not purple in sector 5.
I wonder if the carousel hurt him with the dirty air.
Still think he's probably ahead of pace here. So, oh wait a minute. I think he went purple in sector 5. He did go purple in sector 5. Okay. That was a late change there. Push to pass, going up the hill. Here we go. 143.1. There you go.
Wow. Yeah, forget the 43.9 part. So he went 1.4 seconds quicker than his fastest lap.
Right, he's right about where he qualified.
Wow.
He did a 142. So
a full tank close to a full tank of gas. I'm assuming he's got.
He's on push to pass again. Purple in sector 1.
You know he's inspired to go 42.9 now. Oh, Luke Daniels with issues over here turning. Or no, it wasn't Luke. Never mind. My darn ticker got me again.
Not purple in sector 2, at least not yet. Showing a lot of people on green in their sectors, meaning they're having their fast laps right now.
Well, track's cooling down. Obviously, a lot of them have
light
just
tanks,
pitted, so they're in their lighter tanks, fresh tires. There are a few of them on the alternate tires. A lot of them on push to pass right now. Edu Vila somehow has broken his record. Still has 2 left with 8 to go.
Push to pass now with Isaac. I think he was purple in sector 3. Not purple in sector 4.
Now, if I'm correct, TI does not have a rule with the fastest lap, right? Like F1?
And now not purple currently in sector 5.
Damarera on pit road here with 8 to go, so his final stop right now.
And we go this time 143.4. So 3/10. A little slower. So I think the goodness of those tires might have been worn off. But he still has 4 pushes of push to pass left. I mean, might as well go for it.
Actually, hearing reports from our track officials that they heard screaming noises from Isaac's car, and from what the official said, it sounds like his tires.
Okay.
Never good when you got screaming tires. Never good. Damarera letting the second and third place guys go, but Larkamp has been stalking Nate Brody here for the last, 20 or 30 laps in this race.
That's your closest battle. Yeah. That's your closest battle on the racetrack right now.
Larkamp's still 3 push to passes, and then Brody with 8.
Brody has lap traffic in front of him.
He does.
It's Luke. So.
Team
car.
Yeah, I was going to say,
team car.
Is team car coming into play here?
It could. It could.
And then you got, is that Jim Herrick? Well, no, here's the thing, though. Luke is going to fight this, I think, because Jim Herrick is right up ahead about it, 1.9 seconds here. And that's for position, so Luke is probably going to fight this.
Yeah, I would imagine Luke wants to not give up any time and move over at all.
Which that's his right to do. Yes,
which is absolutely his right
to
do. He is racing for position.
There are rules about that, but in this situation, he's got every right to go get Jim up there. Now, if he was out here by himself and Jim Herrick was at the start-finish line, different story. Get out of the way.
Right. And I believe he's still on the lead lap, so I mean it's no,
he's a lap down. I'm sorry,
he's a lap down. Yeah. So, but he's in direct contact with the guy in front of him for position.
Well, we say that now, and Jim did pull out about a half second just now, just half of that lap. But if you're Nate here, you got to be very careful. He's going to give him the outside lane.
Yeah.
He let him go. Wow.
teammate go now.
That quietness you heard in the background, that was the car owner coming out of certain individuals, not the broadcaster. As the, yeah, there you go. Let's
There you
go.
go.
Turn
There
5.
you go. Let him go right there.
Oh, and Luke goes
Oh.
around into the barrels.
Oh.
The night gets worse for Luke, unfortunately.
Hopefully there wasn't contact there. I don't think it was contact. It
No,
might
I
have
think he probably
been,
just lost it there. We could look
goosed
at
it a little bit. That's just, yeah.
Luke's
6
going
laps
to want a
from the
beer.
end.
I think he's in the perfect
He's-
area to get a beer.
Yeah, he's going to want to forget this race. If there was a drop race that we could use on the calendar, I'm sure it would be this one right now.
Yep, he just got in the strips way too much and goosed it, just like you said. And he kind of kisses the WeatherTech part of the wall.
6 laps to go, though.
I think Luke will be after the race. He'll probably be signing autographs down at David Hobbs's bar. Getting a pint. So Morris, Brody, Larkamp, Kerstetter, and Bommersbach, your top 5. Blackwood there in 6th. And there's going to be some reviewing going on after the race. Of course, we had the incident with Kerstetter and Blackwood that caused Sam to have a little bit of wing damage, which I think fixed itself. So in the end, it might not actually be looked that much at all.
It's a transformer.
But the other incident, obviously, is going to be the Luke Daniels, Andre Perez incident that happened in Canada Corner.
Yeah, it looks like another, as a team owner with his team in 2nd place in the championship, it's going to be another big, looks like a good day for
Ed's off the
TI
track.
racing.
Ed's over in turn 1. He spun it around. 4th, 5th, 6th, and that car, oh, I thought it was damaged, but now the wheel's straight. Never mind. Here comes Cohen
and here comes Cohen. Yeah, he needs to.
He's got to protect.
Yeah, well, I mean, the teammate. He can't necessarily.
Oh, good point, yeah.
Yeah. Probably should let him go just to recover here.
Yeah, you got to get that filth off and everything. Let's see what happens.
But it looks like it's going to be a good day for TI. TI's running 1 and 2. That's going to be a good points paying in the championship. I mean, Kamagoya is going to have 3 and 4, and under any other normal circumstances, that's a pretty good points day. But not when your rivals score 1 and 2.
Well, he just lost it. Just went into turn 1, back end swapped. But something about this track
cost them how many positions that cost?
Looks like 3 or 4.
4? Wow. Probably wanted that one back.
Hey, battle here. Let's go. Even though they're a lap down, I don't care. It's all for all this fun, love, in racing. Dan Marrera and Jim Herrick here for 11th.
Dan just needs to be patient. Find a spot. He'll get a spot.
What, credit to him. Not giving up. He had that wreck. It was all strategy. He had to stop this thing. And now he's got a shot at 11th here still.
Yeah, but Jim has like 9 push passes left, and Dan has none.
Dan's like, I don't need him. To the
Oh,
inside
there he goes.
he goes.
He's going to take a look at the inside. Yeah, no.
Well, Jim got wide there and won a little bit. And he's got the draft here. Herrera's all Zilcho.
Well, and Jim's got the draft of Larkamp in front of him.
Dan's going to drive it in
Gonna
here.
drive it out. Going to drive it deep, and they're side by side on the exits. That means they're going to be up the hill side by side on that blind left-hander. Oh, guys!
Yo, Jim drove it deep, and what a
plow! That is a blind left-hander. It's tough to see the apex there.
And that's one of the rare corners where it's not a switchback.
No, you're right. So he's gonna have a shot down here. He downs here.
Oh, I thought Jim went wide.
Now he's into the carousel, so he's going to try to line him up for Canada Corner. I don't think he's close enough yet, but we'll see as he gets through.
Jim, use the push to passes here. I mean, get away from him. I mean, I'm not cheering him on. I'm just speaking like what I would be doing right now. He got 3 laps. Burn him. I mean, Edu thinks you should burn him.
Smoke him if you got him, I think. Right.
Put the hammer down.
If they are rollover minutes, we'd use them for next week, but they're not, so use them now.
Dude, this ain't 2002's phone plans. Come on.
Right there again. He was going to get a good run.
What? Yeah, Dan really caught up to him there in his last 3 corners. I mean, Jim was really good through the middle section of that track, the technical part, but then those fast corners, that's where Dan really started catching up. He's about right back to where he was almost.
He's going to get another shot here down the sweep, going in the 5.
And this is our closest.
Oh, he got a good exit. He got a great exit off the 3. He is right there.
We got another battle we're going to cut to here in a second if Dan.
Oh, inside.
Yep, here he comes.
Coming to the 5.
Oh, uh-oh.
Whoa, wait a minute, he just disappeared, but he's got the position.
Got him.
Great job, Dan. Great job.
Now let's jump up here, or actually right behind him here. The teammates are fighting for 4th here. Kite and Sam.
Rule 1 of racing your teammate.
I don't know if that's right of you to say in this league, effectively, because I mean, there's a truck series that this same league runs that. That rule got thrown out the window.
No, that's because they think NASCAR, and that's the NASCAR way of thinking.
Which
they're
reminds
teammates.
me,
They're teammates in title only.
So I think we've learned in the last few weeks that Gary Godso's Kamagoye team is pro team orders.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want. People are fooling themselves and they don't think that. I mean, they say that there's certain things they can say on the radio and certain things you can't say on the radio in Formula One, and the team orders aren't allowed in forms of auto racing. And they say that there's penalties if they found it. Believe me, there's a lot more team orders going on in auto racing that a lot of people want to believe, and they can him and haw and poo-poo it all they want. But you know what? If I have if I have a team out there and I'm spending millions of dollars to go out and find sponsorships and everything, I'm doing the most to optimize my team's performance as much as possible. And that's if teammates help each other and do other stuff for each other. That's part of the deal. Sorry.
I disagree one bit. Actually, it's funny. I listened to the Dale Jr. download, and he had Ty Norris on. And for those who don't know who Ty Norris is here we go. Dive in by Kite.
Here we go.
And here comes Cohen.
Look, Cohen. Cohen's going to want a piece of this, too. 2 laps to go.
Ty Norris is infamous for the Michael Waltrip deal that happened at Richmond in 2013, where Clint Boyer had the Armich and basically spun around, and it helped put his teammate Truex into the playoffs, and then Gordon got put in by NASCAR because of the whole deal and everything happened. And when he talked about it, he opened up about the whole thing. And it's so interesting to hear how many different elements were in that race that were happening that caused all that to happen. From one team working with another team to make sure that team helped this other one to get financial payment out of it. It's things like that.
When money is involved, man, I mean, it just grays a whole lot of areas.
Right.
And that's all what racing is. It's money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to be in racing and do money, then stay at iRacing or stay in the lower levels. But at the upper levels, it's all about money. Because you need to get to that next race. You need to get to that next season. If you don't have the sponsorship to do it, you're not going to run. You're going to run at the back, or you're just not going to run at all.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Isaac on his final lap of the race, but no, you're absolutely right. I mean, you look at sponsorships and stuff. You got to bring sponsors with you to succeed in racing anymore, and that's just the way it is.
That's a very unfortunate side effect of IndyCar in the '90s that kind of spread to other forms of auto racing.
Herrick off the track.
Herrick, I think he's letting the guys go. I'm not sure because he got one of his teammates right there in direct contact. So he's okay. Look, Kite's taking a defensive line outside around Sam. Way to go!
Wow.
Deep braking. That's going to put Sam, though, unfortunately, in direct contact with Cohen coming up into this. Coming in down to we got a passing zone here at the bottom of the hill in 8.
And we'll watch that here in just a second. Issac Morris is going to come up the hill, and the Isaac week begins. It's going to be his 3rd win in 4 races. He's undefeated on the road courses and continues to build the winningest margin in all of TI Racing with his 18th win. And a burnout probably to cross the line, I'm guessing here. That's a new one. As Issac wins in Road America.
This battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th, it is. Someone's going to full send it down here and do a Canada corner or C.
I have a strange feeling that somebody's not going to be happy about that Issac move.
The what move?
The burnout at the start-finish line.
Oh, well, there's people finishing the race right now.
Right. So here they come off the corner. Oh, we got loose there, Sam.
Wobbly, and that's going to open the door a little bit for Cohen. We're going to see Cohen's on to push the pass.
Not enough time.
Not going to be able to enough time. No.
Nope. Nice
finish.
finish.
Sam had the benefit of his teammate in front of him with the draft as well. But great, clean racing. Credit to all three of those guys.
So, yeah, Issac comes to the line. He actually stops and starts a burnout. So that's why you're going to notice the margin of victory is not as big as it was. And that's because Issac actually stops at the start-finish line and lays a burnout down across the line. We still got cars crossing. Edu Vila is going to finish 8th. Ed Kerstetter 7th. Carlos Dotero comes back to 9th after his damage early in the race, but it was a great race. I mean, it was a great drama everywhere. Cars battling everywhere. I was starting to say before the Jim pass there where Jim fell back, it looked like he had lost space from Dan. So I don't know if Jim had issues or something, and that allowed him to have to back off. And it looks like, yeah, I'm seeing it right here. It looks like he went off track or something. So tough deal there. But for Issac, his 3rd win in 4 races, going to extend his points lead. And VOR saying hi to you, Gary.
He's talking about you because he pays you to broadcast his league.
Oh, they do pay me. I forgot about that.
They do.
What,
I might have to join you in the booth at Iowa. Depends if my wheel.
I was waiting on you to join me in the booth this past weekend. I'm like, where's Gary? He didn't make the race. I figured he'd come join me.
I
figured you
off.
were. Yeah, I figured Gary was in stone cold mode.
Yeah, through practice, my car was just hooked up, and my car was hooked up on the TI Fontana race, and I thought I was going to have a good one. And the second I plug in my USB plug for my wheel, and nothing happened.
Ka-chow. Oh boy.
And yeah.
Very impressive, very tight groove here on the front straightaway, and Issac has not gone off track yet. Up, maybe right there he touched the grass. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but let's take a look at the race results as Julian continues to suck up to the both of us. Issac wins this thing. Nate Brody 2nd. Stephen Larkamp 3rd. Kite Bommersbach bounces back after a rough race. He finishes 4th. Sam Blackwood, a top 5 finish there. So that's, 3 of the Kamagoye cars? Top 5? So nothing to be ashamed of there.
Nothing to be ashamed, but we lose ground in the team championship because, I mean, number 1, number 2, those guys drove a great race, and credit to the TI squad for putting together a good strategy to take the top 2 steps to the podium.
Yeah, definitely a great effort there, but TI, some reason here at Road America, they've got it covered. I mean, they had it with Eric O'Connor and Issac Morris, and now Nate Brody and Issac Morris. Definitely great job on their part. But Cohen Evans 6th, Kerstetter, Edu Vila, great 8th place run for him. Carlos Dotero, Isaac Lopez in the top 10. Dan Marrera 11th. Jim Herrick 12th. Luke Daniels 13th. Going to be disappointed there. Lester 14th. Andres Perez 15th. Baldwin, Grabowski, and Whimsy, unfortunately, with their struggles tonight, 16th, 17th, and 18th, respectively. In this race. But for Issac, it's his 18th career TI Racing IndyCar win, which is by far the top of the list. And, win number 3, as I mentioned, he's 3 for 3 on road courses, which is something that I'm sure he is going to be proud of as he works his way towards back-to-back championships. And let's go get the young man and driver of the one car and get him up here in the booth with us. He's not even in our channel yet. So actually, let's bring up Larkamp, and we'll talk to him. Steven, man, great Third place finish for you tonight. You had a great battle there as you kind of trailed right behind Nate for about the last 35 laps of that race. What all did you need to potentially jump that 33, or were you guys just even?
I think for me, it was largely me not being as aggressive as I probably should have been on the final after the final pit stop, because I was on fresh reds and he was on blacks. I ran my black tires on the second stint, but yeah, probably should have been more aggressive in the first couple of laps. So I was all over his gearbox for a good while there, but then his tires maintained the momentum, maintained the grip, while mine just dropped off in the end. I probably should have been more aggressive, but all things considered, I'd say that was a pretty solid race overall. Me and Nate had a good tussle throughout the whole thing, and good run for the team as well. Third, fourth, and fifth for me, Kite and Sam. And well, yeah, it was just made no mistakes and got a good result out of it. Probably doesn't quite make up for the win I thought was on the cards at Daytona, but it definitely is recompense, I would say.
Well, it's still a fantastic run. Did you definitely feel a little bit of blood in the water when he had that spin and comes out right there in front of you? Did you feel like you had a shot to go get him?
I definitely thought I did. I was kind of content sitting in third place for a while. I think I had a little bit more pace on him for a moment there, but it wasn't going to be enough to make up a 6-7 second deficit. Then I saw he spun, and I just and I was I probably should have been a bit more daring on that one, but I didn't quite know exactly where everybody was at the time, so I wasn't quite able to jump him there, even though I might have been able to. But I think, but I definitely think it should have. I definitely think it got me. It kept me motivated. That's for certain, because yeah, it was getting a little bit on the dull side, but still was still the car itself kept me on my toes. I'll say that much.
Well, you did a great job tonight, man. Happy for you. Obviously, I believe it's your best finish here so far in your campaign. With iRacing, but obviously we look forward to more success out of you, and this is your chance to send shout-outs whoever you like to.
Yeah, big shout-out to the rest of my teammates, Kite Bommersbach, Sam Blackwood, Luke Daniels, unfortunately didn't have that good a run, the guys at Kamigoye Esports, and also my regular team, NHR Esports. I want to give them a shout-out as well. This one is... all the guys I race with in the Lionheart IndyCar series as well. This has been it's a great league to race in. It's great fun so far, and I'm hoping for more fun and for more success as well.
Side question: Brian Yazik still over there?
Unfortunately not. He's kind of stepped aside. He's mostly doing NASCAR stuff now, apparently.
Okay. I just asked. I was going to have you kick him if you saw him, but no, he's a good guy. So I did some stuff with him and got the guys at GSRC back in a couple years ago, and they're good guys. So I said, when you said that, I'm like, wait a minute. But no, great job out there.
We still keep in touch with him, though. He's still a good friend of ours.
Well, next time you see him, kick him. So
will do. Will do, buddy.
Anyways, good job, Steven.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Now, in fairness, I just a simple kick. I don't mean like any kind of a Ric Flair type kick or something. So that would be kind of
no, I'm not even capable of that sort of thing. So that won't be too much of an issue.
Steven Larkamp joining us tonight. Congratulations to him on the top 3 finish here at Road America. Let's get Nate Brody up here. Nate, great job tonight. Second place run. I know there's going to be that piece of you that's kicking yourself. After the turn 1 incident there, was it just a matter of too much of the rumble strips there turn you around?
Yeah. Coming out of the pits, I had been more used to the older tires and the less grip, so I went into turn 1, turned in too early, and got too much curb, and I spun it. So it's like the one mistake I made, and yeah, I'm really kicking myself over that, but I'm really happy for the P2.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the end, the only thing that hurt you really was time-wise, and, of course, the old credible 0 incidents. But still a fantastic run for you. It looked like from the start of the race, unfortunately, Isaac was in his own zip code. But at least you showed that, tonight you could compete there, and you ran in second, and definitely showed the speed you had.
Yeah, I give a ton of credit to Isaac. He didn't put a foot wrong the whole race, and he's been fast ever since practice. So yeah, I mean, props to him. I really did feel like I showed what I had out there. I had a good run at Auto Club, but I couldn't get much out of it with the last lap incident, which is going to happen. But I definitely showed, I think, what I have both on road courses and on ovals, especially tonight, in, you know, keeping in front of such a bunch of fast guys and coming home in the end to get a podium. So I see that as a win for me.
Now, obviously, a lot of karting I've learned that you do, and how much does that help you with, you know, obviously probably the top-notch karting car, we'll call it.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me is situational awareness and just endurance overall. With these long races, 50 laps is a long time, especially at Road America.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so doing real life stuff, it really helps you train your mind and even your body to stay consistent and keep your head in the game for that long time. And situational awareness is big because in real life, you know, you can hurt yourself and hurt the cart. So, and this transfers really well to this because if you get any sort of contact, that's going to have huge consequences for the rest of the race.
Yeah, so definitely a great job on your end, man. You definitely see the situational awareness out there, and great race on your end tonight. And you get ready to head to Indianapolis for your first 300-mile race next week. But shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Chris and T.I. and Isaac. They've given me an awesome opportunity here. And I guess for real life plugs, I'll give a shout out to QG3 Karting and Carbon Digital Graphics.
There you go, man. Well, great job. Well earned. And, yeah, we'll see you next week, bud.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. That is Nate Brody, who finishes second in the race tonight, all behind the winner, Issac Morris, who gets win number 18 of his career and a win at Road America, third road course win in 3 road course starts this season. And just a brilliant effort on your end, Isaac, tonight.
Yeah, it was a good race. It was a little bit boring. In all fairness, like the most interesting part of the race was the start. To be honest,
I'm about to say, what was the most interesting part?
yeah, like just well, literally, it was literally just the start, and then I think it was like halfway through lap 1, I pulled out like a second and a half gap on Nate, and then that was pretty much it. That was the last of that, and unless there was going to be something like a crash from me or, you know, a back marker getting in my way for like 2 or 3 laps, then, you know, that would have spiced things up a little bit. But just over the course of the race, just had to hit my marks and just make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. There was a few moments where I thought I was going to spin, but kept the car under control, and just went on to a different strategy to my teammates. I was going to do 3 reds and then 1 black on the end, and then I ended up deciding to do my my primary stint as my 3rd stint, and then I just run the reds towards the end. And I was thinking, you know, the reds is a shorter stint, so I could go for fastest lap on the reds, and I'm not too sure if I got fastest lap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I did I?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Okay.
143.1.
Oh, nice. I wasn't too sure whether people were going to be pitting and trying to beat
Red
that. Yeah, I wasn't too sure whether that was going to be the case, but yeah, it was a good race. It's a bit boring, but yeah, it was just too long. So an hour and a half. It could have been like half an hour shorter or something. That would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'll keep sarcasm for after the race. But I'm like, I do know a birdie that said last week maybe shorten it up a little bit. But anyways, in all seriousness, though, Indianapolis is next week, and you finally broke the streak at the big track for TI Racing.
Mm-hmm.
And how you feeling going into that next week as you carry this momentum?
I don't know. I'm just gonna show
Fair
up.
question. Fair answer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna show up, and turn laps at Indy. It's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I don't know what the weather conditions are gonna be like yet. So that's going to be decided in the week now. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, and we'll
Are
see
you
if we
worried
can get.
about any outsiders spoiling your race?
No. No.
You know,
not
Gary's gonna
really.
be pretty fast.
Um,
I'm probably not going to have my wheel back by then, so I might not be in that race. So see.
I mean, at the end of the day, Ti, Kamigoye, Black Cat, and Mimsy, we're all meant to like kind of be working together, in a sense. And I know Gary wants Kamigoye to beat Ti, and you know we want to beat Kamigoye, etc. But you know, at the end of the day, we do have an inter-team relationship, and so hopefully we won't have a repeat of what happened last season, and have a little kerfuffle with each other's drivers. But hopefully we can get into some sessions and work together, and you know, make sure that all 4 teams are the highest cars on the grid. So yeah, but I'm not all too worried. I've extended my points lead. I think it's over 50 points now. So if I crash, I still have the championship lead, and then going into the next road race, just try and end up doing the same thing again. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And you know, oval racing is brutal. You know, 1 minute you can be in the lead, and then the next you can be dead last. So you know, yeah, we'll just we'll take it as it comes, really. And you know, if I do get taken out, I'll still get points. So even if it's 5, we'll just see. Yeah.
All right. Well, we wish you the best there. Obviously, next week. Congratulations on the win here tonight at Road America. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Thank you. Let's give a shout out to Chris, Lewis, team boss, Ti Racing. And I think that's it.
There you go.
I'll give a shout out to Nate as well for a great drive tonight, because it's his first road course for us, and he did a really good job, and a really good job at helping us secure nearly maximum points in the team championships.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he did a good job. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next week.
You too.
Congrats.
Isaac Morris on
Thank
the
you.
win here in Road America in the TI IndyCar Series. Congratulations to him. I was waiting for him to realize that the question I was asking him was about me, but it never happened. So, anywho, maybe we'll figure it out later. All right. Well, we're going to head out, and appreciate Gary coming over to join, of course, as always. Hate it for him to not have a wheel, but, you know, he's always got a spot up here in the booth, and to at least somewhat supplement him not being able to race. So we'll have him probably Saturday at Iowa for the VOR race, which will be a lot of fun to be a part of. So appreciate him joining us as always, and might have to strike a deal with him for a spotter for Indianapolis. So we'll see what I can work out there. But anywho, appreciate all the viewers for watching tonight. Again, reminder, next week's broadcast will be over on EMRN. I obviously will be in the Indianapolis race, and I warn you in advance, you might not see much of me. So I'm just being fair. But with that said, guys, appreciate Gary, appreciate what you do, man. Appreciate what Chris Lewis and everybody does for the league and allowing us to be a part of it. We're out, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, as we will see you in 2 weeks from, hang on, let me throw the schedule up on the screen here. Watkins Glen will be in New York. That'll be when we're back on the air here on Captain TV for the TI IndyCar Series. So appreciate everybody for joining us this evening, and as always, remember, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
I told myself I wouldn't let it get this far. I'm running circles around strong.